What's up, y'all? Welcome to part 3 of my ongoing positioning guide. If you're new here, I'll link the part 1 and 2 in the video and description. If you're not new here, in this video, we're going to be talking about map rotations. This is the biggest difference between hard-stuck diamond players and masters players. Knowing how to rotate the map is going to net you easy kills and wins, and it's really going to help you climb quicker in ranked. Alright, let's get into it. So there are two different ways to play when it comes to rotations, edge or center zone. They're pretty much exactly what they sound like, but I'll explain a little bit more. Center zone teams are all about rotating early and getting good spots in the center of zone that they can hold for the majority of the game. Edge teams rotate late on the edge and settle for positions that are left or fight for better spots. Both have their advantages and disadvantages, but when they enter the end game, they're basically in the same situation. It's not often you'll be able to scan beacons super late in the game, so those early rotates become more difficult as the game progresses. Your legend comp as a team also factors in a lot as to how well you can rotate the map, so be sure to choose legends that help your preferred way to rotate, or rotate based on a comp you're already comfortable with. I usually play without defensive legends, so I play edge a lot. There are a lot of other factors that affect how you rotate and what positions you'll take throughout the game, so keep some of these in your mind at all times. Hotspots, popular landing spots, flight path, squads that drop near you, current zone, upcoming zone, high ground, buildings, care packages, and when it comes to late games, God spot. I'll explain this a little bit later in the video, but it's basically exactly what it sounds like. If all that sounds like a lot at once, keep it simple by focusing on teams immediately around you and known hotspots. If you're getting attacked and know there's a third team close by, be aware of that and try to rotate so that you won't be caught between both teams. Now let's take a look at a diamond game of mine and talk about rotations in real situations. You should be thinking about rotations the moment you leave the ship. Looking around while dropping, I noticed that the closest team is behind us at thermal. We're alone at staging and nobody has dropped at harvester or landslide. If we wanted to force an early fight at thermal though, we would have to be cautious of a possible third party from the team that landed tree. We know that nobody landed at a landslide or harvester and they both have survey beacons, so we rotate towards landslide to keep looting and find the next zone. I'm not a huge fan of harvester rotations because it's center of the map and the sightlines aren't clear, so teams can get very close to you without you noticing. While at landslide, we hear gunshots around lava fissure, so we take a look that way. If you hear gunshots, you don't have to commit to a third party. You can really just get closer to assess the situation. As we get closer, I see a team on the jump tower going towards countdown, so we break right to try and cut them off. This is where things start to get interesting. We know the team is on the opposite side, so we're ready to cut them off and force this fight. But then a crazy octane lands directly on the other team and starts a fight. After he throws his own team's game, we see his teammates landing on our left side, which makes our position very awkward. Notice how quickly though we decide to bail on this fight.
Someone's flying. No, we gotta go. Front.
Okay, too many teams.
Fuck that shit.
Let's go here.
And as we're running, we realize the team's already taken our spot at landslide, trying to gatekeep us from the first circle. Notice again how quickly I decided to use my Valk ult to leave. You have to make these decisions super quick, or else teams will get so close to you that leaving becomes a lot harder to do. While I'm flying, I want to break down how you can analyze zones a bit more. Even if we had decided to not push towards the edge to possibly get some early kill points, I would still be moving towards the same location. Typically, I like to play the wedge, the area where the old zone meets the new zone, to keep at least one direction completely clear from teams, but currently, that's not only extreme low ground, it's also not likely for zone to pull that way. I can guess just from this circle, the zone is more likely to pull towards the train station or tree. With that information and knowing there's a decent bit of teams still behind us near countdown and landslide, we decide to stay on this edge nearest to us and try to keep the next zone. I give you more insight to zone predictions, but honestly, zone pools change through seasons and you'll start to recognize them the more that you play. If you're not secure in your zone calls, a recon character is always a safe bet. Because there were so many teams behind us, A lot of the teams got caught fighting in zone, which led to super late rotations for them. Here we just get some easy cleanup kills from teams separated too much and then missing some members. After we clean up there, we can easily take the jump tower and grab a decent spot in circle. Because of my Valk passive, it makes it a little easier to find free spots in later circles. Teams without Valk should be very careful so they don't accidentally land on a team. From here, we can wait to see where the next zone is. As soon as the next zone is shown on the map, we're already thinking about how to play it. We know there's a team on our backside towards the train station, one team in the building underneath the survey beacon, and then another on the tree side. Knowing that, it's pretty safe to assume that the other two teams are already on the other side of the choke, towards thermal station. Here we have a couple options to rotate. We can push right without much cover to clear out that team and hope we're not thirded by the beacon team or a team from the choke. We can push directly towards the survey beacon building and possibly get pushed from both sides, or we can push to the left side and try to pinch the team on the tree side. We decided to push the tree team because they're the farthest on edge and it could be an easy gatekeep and then a normal fight, which may get the survey beacon team pinched from the choke. This is where things get complicated in rank sometimes. The team we're trying to gatekeep decides to jump right past us towards the building, which gives us free kills, and we find out that the team in survey beacon building already left, gifting us the best position in the whole game. From here, we get a free rotation into the choke, where we force the last team, which is a duo, back into the building. After they're forced off our high ground, we have Godspot. As long as no one throws, this game is already a win. Here we had Godspot gifted to us, but sometimes it's worth fighting for. It all depends on how late into the game it is and how many teams are left. For other Godspots, sometimes teams will throw your game and theirs trying to fight for it. Had there been a full team on our backside, it would have been bad and we would need to clear them out first. That's gonna wrap up part 3, the rotation section of my guide on positioning. If y'all want another example of rotating, just let me know in the comments and I'll break it down for you. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at EncoWeTrust. Thanks again for watching. Peace.